when we install the Palo Alto firewall, it only has one admin account by default. And this is okay in case we are using it in a lab environment and studying for a certification or testing a feature. But in a production environment, we actually have to create multiple admin accounts for each administrator. This way, we'll be able to track what changes are being performed by which administrators. Not only that, there are scenarios where we might be required to create admin accounts for auditors or for contractors, but we don't want them to have the same level of access as the other internal network admins. So by creating these different accounts with different privilege, we'll be able to have more control of who is doing what on the firewall. And that's what I'm going to show you in this video. We're going to see how to create different types of admin accounts by using the local database and also using external database to access the firewall. Okay, this is the topology that I'll be using, and we're just going to focus on the firewall. Now, one thing that you don't see in this topology is my Active Directory that is somewhere connected here. Okay, so this is my AD, and it has the IP address 10.1.0, I believe that's 19. So it's not running directly on the topology just to save resources, so it's running on a different VM, but it's also in this subnet 10.1.0.0 where the firewall has the IP address 10.1.0.1. And if this is the first time you're watching this video, so this means that I will have to configure the firewall to reach the Active Directory by creating a service route. And I wanted to show this in this video because on the previous one, some of you, if you already watched some of my previous videos, couldn't make the firewall reach the Active Directory. So I'm going to show you how to do it this way, and you'll be able to replicate that as well. Now, if you want to download this topology, this file, I'm going to share the link to download this on my platform. It's going to be in the video description and you can download it for free. Additionally, I'm going to share the link to this document from Palo Alto that gives you more detailed explanation as to the different options that you can use while creating different admin accounts. Okay, let's begin by creating an administrator account by going to Device, Setup, and let's go to Administrator. So here, this is where we find the first default admin account. And we can see that it has a name admin and it is a super user. So let's create a new one. Let's call this Silesio. The authentication profile is going to be none. So I'm going to set the password. Have to repeat the password. And this is going to be, the administrator type is going to be dynamic. And we want to change this from super user to super user read only. Okay, and we're going to save this. So we created the username and also the password on this administrator account list, and we're going to commit this and try to log in with this admin account. Okay, changes were committed successfully, so now I'm going to try to log in as Silesio, so this new admin account. Okay, and we are successfully authenticated. So Silesio just logged in, and so we have access to everything. So let's go to device and see if we can make changes. So it's loading. So let's go to setup and see if we can make any change. So for example, general settings, still loading. So we don't have that gear that allow us to make changes. So because this is a read-only account, okay, we can see, but we can't make any changes. Okay, you can see the options are all grayed out, so probably I can change my password. That should be the only thing. But if I wanted to change the device host name, change the banner, so all of these options are grayed out, which essentially means that I can only read, but I can't make any change at all. So I'm going to log out and let's create another account. So this time we're going to create a user by using the local user database. So this is going to be a local user. So we're going to create Silesio, let's call it Silesio local. I'm going to give the password. And we're going to save this user. Okay, so we created this user in this local database. Now, in order to use this user account, we have to reference here on the administrators. But before that, we have to create an authentication profile. I'm going to add a new authentication profile, and let's call this local admins profile. See how long can I write this. So a authentication profile. Okay, it worked. Now type is going to be we're going to select local database, and advanced we're just going to select all users that we have available. Okay, and we're going to save this. Now let's go to administrators, and we're going to add a new admin, and the name has to match what we created in the local user database. So it's Silesio underscore local, and we're going to use that authentication profile, local admins. Okay, and you see that now we can set the password because we already created that in a different database. And we're going to save this, and we're going to commit this change. Okay, the changes were committed, so now let's try to log in using this new account. So Silesio underscore local. Okay, and it was successfully authenticated as well, and let's remind us later. Okay, if we go to device, let's see what are the options that we have here. So can we make any change at all? No, we cannot. Okay, and if we go to administrators, okay, what are the accounts we can see? So we can see, okay, there is an admin, there is Silesio, there is Silesio local, he's super user. Now I can change the password here, but if I come over here, I can change my own password. Okay, so okay, this is another way to create admin accounts on the firewall. Now let's log out from this one and use the third option, and it is to use an external database. In this case, we're going to use the LDAP. So to do that, first I'm going to create the server profile. So that's going to be LDAP. And actually that's what I was thinking. So first I have to set up the service route. Okay, so we go to setup, services, service route configuration. We're going to change this to customize, and we have to find the option LDAP, and we want to change the source interface. In my case, I'm going to use the interface 1/1. That's my inside interface. You can see here, and the LDAP server is located on this cloud. Okay, so it's going to be 1/1, and the source address is going to be the IP address on that interface. I'm just going to confirm that, and just want to make sure that it okay. Yeah, it's successful. Okay, so now let's go back to server profile. Okay, let's create the LDAP server profile. So I'm gonna name it as I think it was AD server profile, and we're going to name this as binary avenue, and the LDAP server IP address is 10.1.0.19, and I'm going to disable require SSL TLS. Okay, type is going to be Active Directory base DN. Okay, so now I can fetch this. Okay, that's great. Bind DN. So I'm going to use the administrator account on my AD. So that's going to be at binaryavenue.com. The password. Okay, let me set that. Bank timeout. So I'm going to leave everything else as default, and I'm going to set to use the admin account for administrator use only. Okay, I'm going to save this. Okay, so now we're going to create another authentication profile, and this time it's going to be like AD authentication profile, and the authentication type is going to be LDAP. The server profile will be the one we just created, AD server profile. And what else? Advanced, we just want to grab all the users that we can. Okay, we're going to save these. And now the administrators that we want to use, so they have to exist in the Active Directory. So if you go to my Active Directory, minimize these. I probably should have this. No, I don't. So let's go to users and computers. And I'm just going to copy this user, copy. Okay, first name is going to be Silesio, last name is going to be Carvalho. Logon is going to be Silesio.Carvalho. Okay, next. Okay, I'm going to set the password. I don't want to make a typo here. Okay, next. Okay, finish. Okay, we can go back to Firewall, and we're going to create same user, so Silesio.Carvalho. Authentication profile, so this has to be AD authentication profile, and we can also change this to super user read only if we want. Okay, and we're going to commit these changes. Okay, changes committed successfully. So now let's test these. Try to log in with the user Silesio.Carvalho. Let's see. And the account was successfully authenticated as well. We can also take a look at device. Actually, let's take a look at monitor, because we can also track which changes are being done for each administrator. We didn't make any change, but in case we wanted, so we could use, let's go to system. Okay, we have some log information such as Silesio just logged in and was authenticated, and we can also go to configuration and see what changes are being done for which administrator. So let me adjust this. We can see, so far I've been using only the admin account, but we can see, okay, the admin account, from which IP address the client was using, the command, and also what change were applied. So this is how you deploy different admin accounts on the Palo Alto Firewall. If you have any doubt, just leave your question in the comment section or reach out to me directly on LinkedIn. And in case you found this video useful, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next one.